So I just wanted to do a postdoc update because I don't think I have so far. So let's get to it. So I'm recording this in January 2024. This is after I have applied to 7 postdoctoral positions, or let me correct that. I applied to 7 sites, but technically 9 positions because some sites let you apply to more than one like position or a track, kind of similar to internship, but the process has been way more lax, way more chill, and I'm so grateful for it. So I just wanted to give a little bit of insight in what this process looks like. So it looks more like applying for a job. It's pretty much a cover letter, your CV, and references or recommendations or whatever. The difference is some of these positions are using the Accreditation system, which for those going through APIC, it is literally the same portal. It just has a different name. It looks exactly the same. And then others, it's just an email directly to like the training director. The sites that I applied to are kind of a mix. It's really nice using the Accreditation system because all the like background information, like where you're getting your degree, what your like accomplishments, some of those extra stuff that is kind of annoying. It's kind of like the common app. It's like APIC. All that stuff just kind of pulls into all of them. But most of them only required the cover letter, the CV, and those recommendations. There were a couple, I think only 2 of my sites asked for written reports, like assessment reports. And all of the sites that I applied to are generally within children's hospitals. I think there's only one that is not, but it is still like with a pediatric population. So this process can be really formalized or very informal. For me, I kind of went the formalized route. All of the positions I applied to are formal postdocs. Some of them are APA accredited, some are not. My understanding of APA accreditation at the postdoc level is that it's not as important to have an APA accredited postdoc as it is to have an APA accredited internship. The reason a lot of postdocs will have APA accreditation is really for accountability. And so it is nice, the ones that are APA accredited, you know that they have like a governing body to hold them accountable for certain things like supervision, like the number of clinical hours, and stuff like that. So again, it's a mixed bag. My cover letters, they were kind of similar to the way that I wrote my internship cover letters, but they were more future focused. My internship cover letters were like, here's what I've done and here's why it's important that I've done these things because they relate to your internship. And these cover letters for postdoc felt more like, very briefly, here's what I've done, but here's how this postdoc is going to get me to the career that I want. That's kind of how I approached my cover letters, and I think it worked really well. At this point that I'm recording, I have received invitations for 6 out of 7 interviews, which is awesome. One site I have not heard from yet, so we'll see what they say. It's a little overwhelming because there are not as many people who apply to postdocs. So I think last year the mean number of sites that people applied to was like 5 or something. And when I was talking to my training director, she was like, oh, you applied to 7, that's so many. And I was like, really? Because last year I applied to 15 places. Actually, I applied to like 30 places last year because of both internship, because of both phases 1 and 2. So I'm like, 7, psh, I can do that. But I feel like it's really chill. Not chill as in like, it's cool, but there's not as many like deadlines and everyone's kind of just like cool. They're like, oh, what are you interested in? Some places when they get your application materials, they're like, hey, let's chat to make sure this is a good fit. Some places just go straight to like an interview. So it's been really cool, very lax. It's very nice to not have like APIC looming over me, and being able to compare it to where I was this time last year has been really helpful and kind of having perspective moving forward. So at this point, I'm currently in the middle of my interviews. I've had one interview so far, and I have the rest of them in the next couple weeks. Some of my sites adhere to the common hold date, which I believe is February 27th, maybe. But that basically means that when that site offers a position to somebody, they cannot force that person to make a decision until the common hold date. That person can hold that decision as long as they want. So say I get offered a position tomorrow. If they are adhering to the common hold date, I could hold that position till February 27th or whatever that date is, and they can't stop me. Now, if I get another offer from someone else, I'm pretty sure you can only hold one at a time. That's where I'm not sure. I think you can only hold one at a time. So you have two in your hand now. You need to look at them and decide which one do you want to hold or accept. They also tell you to have your own ranking of postdoc positions so that when this happens, you can make a quick choice. Okay, this one and this one. This was my number 3 and this was number 1. Ooh, okay, boop. And now you're holding this one. Because it was your number 1, you could also just go ahead and accept it so they can tell all the other people that they fill the position. This number 3 one that you threw back, now that site can go to their next person and send them an offer. And it's all like that. The hard thing is when you have sites that are not adhering to the common hold date, they can be like, we need to know by blah, 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 blah. And you kind of have to juggle those things. The nice thing is, even before the interviews, these places have been really transparent about how confusing that can be when you have some who have the common hold date and some who don't. And they're just like, keep communication open with us. Like, we know it's weird. Just tell us what's going on. If you have a position that you're holding and you're not sure, or if you haven't interviewed at a place and you're waiting, like, just tell us, which has been really cool. So it's a way more laid back experience. I don't have any information about the APNC, whatever the neuropsych postdoc process is. That one is a match. I don't know anything about that. That one I think is probably a little bit similar to APIC because of it being a match. But the general one for just kind of like everybody else, pretty chill, pretty good. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait, do my little interviews, and see where I end up for next year. But I just wanted to do a quick little postdoc update because I don't believe I've spoken about it. Yeah, and that's where I am now. So I'll check back in probably after I know where I'm going and post a little bit more about how the process has gone with like interviews and things like that. So I will catch you guys then. Bye.